I can see a few more folks joining in, so just stand by, everyone.
GM.
We shall go live in the next 2 minutes because I can see a few more folks joining the call, so just stand by, folks. GM. Where's everyone joining in from? If you can share it on the chat box. It's really late over here in India. So yeah. Oh, we have folks joining in from Amsterdam, Argentina. Dope. Sweet. Oh, we have someone from Greece. I believe Andrew is also in Greece at the moment. But yeah. Sweet. I can see few people more joining in the call. Alrighty, in the interest of time, let's kick off. So hey everyone, and welcome to the second Superhack workshop titled Become a DeFi Developer with Mode. Joining us today is Federico, who will be taking us through the session. And with that, I'll pass it over to Federico to get the workshop started. Over to you, mate.
Awesome. Thanks a lot for the intro. Hey, everyone. So let me try and share my screen here. And let's get it started. So my name is Fede. I'm the one from Argentina. I hope there's someone else. If you are, just let me know and we can be friends forever. That's how we Argentinians do it. Let me try and share my screen here. We're going to talk a little bit about mode, a little bit about opportunities there as well, and things that we have here. There we go. I hope you can see my screen. So, hey everyone, my name is Fede, Crypto Fede for the ones that see me online, constantly online. I'm head of DevRel for Mode, so I do developer relationships. That means I'm in charge of a lot of things and I know a little bit about a lot of things. So if you need help with knowing which, I don't know, which documentation you need to go for, if you need to know which oracles that we have, if you need to know how to implement account abstraction on Mode, if you want to know any, or if you have any doubts about building on Mode, I'm the one that could help you. I'm gonna be around in the Discord chats with the Superhack, but also in the Discord chat on Mode's Discord as well. Well, we're always vibing there. If I cannot help you, Med, our solutions engineer, is going to be a mentor for this hackathon as well. And of course, we have a few ambassadors as well that will be around just helping a little bit more. So today I want to talk about becoming a DeFi developer, right? We're going to go over what Mode is, what is Mode, why we're here, what is our main focus. We're going to talk in the end about the bounties that we have for this hackathon and the best things that you can build or what you can do to improve your chances of winning these bounties and the things that we like seeing or we would like to see in this hackathon and in the future as well. This is not only a workshop for this hackathon. I want you to take this as an intro to Mode. And yeah, that's mainly the idea. And you'll learn a few things about being a DeFi developer as well, which is something we've been talking about in Mode for a little while now. So what is Mode? I've mentioned it a million times. So Mode is the DeFi layer 2 part of the Superchain, right? Why it's the DeFi layer 2? So I hope that right now, up to now, you're already familiar with what a layer 2 is. But basically, we're a layer that sits on top of Ethereum, and we use the OP stack to run our infrastructure. This means that we are EVM compatible, right? So this also means that if you've ever deployed on Ethereum or any EVM compatible chain like Base, I don't know, well, no, there's a million of them. I don't want to mention any specific, but it's fine. So if you've ever deployed on any EVM compatible chains that have Solidity, etc., then it's the same thing for Mode and for any other chain in the Superchain. And that's kind of the idea of the Superchain. Just a brief intro. I know we're in the Superhack here, so will be focused on the Superchain in general, which I love. The Superchain is this concept of all these chains with different objectives. They use the OP stack to run their infrastructure, and they will all share easy bridging, liquidity, shared governance, etc. So it will be all this collective of chains that are interconnected in different ways and different senses, and Mode is part of that. What we want to aim and why we're bullish on the superchain is basically being the DeFi hub for optimism. So all your DeFi actions and all the cool stuff and innovation in DeFi should happen on Mode, and that's what we're aiming and pushing for. That's why, well, it's an Ethereum layer 2 because we settle on Ethereum, similar to any other OP stack chain right now. And we want to we focus on a few things. So DeFi is our North Star, and we want to make DeFi and bring on-chain finance to the next billion users. We want to make it easier for users to do finance on-chain, right? We want to simplify the process. We want to make it easier for the onboarding, and we're going to talk DeFi later in this presentation as well. So we also have a lot of growth mechanics implemented at the protocol and product level. We'll talk about more about our product later on and the things that I think are original for us. And here in the last point, you can see on-chain finance for the next billion. That's our new motto. I know it's a little bit cheesy, of course, but that's what we want to aim for, right? We want to bring finances to more people and make it easier for them in a trustless, decentralized way. Of course, being a layer 2 on Mode, the fees are super cheap. So even playing on mainnet is kind of easy and fun to do. We have a lot of interesting, innovative DeFi protocols as well. I would recommend you guys go check it out. And if you have any crazy innovative DeFi ideas, we are the chain for that. So if you've always thought about some specific use case or some weird stuff that you want to try out, we are a good place to start. And then of course go Superchain as well. We're happy to be the DeFi hub and the place where you can come and test out your DeFi ideas. Of course, GameFi and other things are mostly accepted. It's not a restriction. It's just that we are now focusing much more on the DeFi ecosystem, and we can help you a lot more if you're into DeFi. But GameFi and other types of financial on-chain finances, it's more than welcome as well. So Superchain, I mentioned this about this a little bit. You can see here some examples like Base, Fractal, Mode, OP Mainnet, Redstone, Zora, etc. So I know it may be a little bit confusing of like OP Mainnet versus Optimism. So Optimism is like the collective, it's the foundation, it's the governance, it's all of these things. And OP Mainnet is just well, just is the biggest almost, but it's the layer 2 of Optimism that runs the OP stack. So all of these chains of the superchain are at the same height or at the same level of abstraction with OP mainnet, right? So here's a nice definition that I like that I took from some place in some documentation around optimism, which is an explainer. There's the link down there at the left. So basically, the superchain is a network of chains that share bridging, decentralized governance, upgrades, a communication layer, and more, all built on the OP stack. So that is the idea. Mode is part of the superchain. We're bullish on it, and we want to push for the narrative as well. Our place in this whole narrative is going to be the DeFi hub, right? And you'll see why. So why is this important? And I love to tell this to people so you understand why we're choosing the superchain as well and the why behind Mode is that Optimism builds the infra, right? The OP stack, all of these default proofs, all the complex technological stuff that requires of running a whole blockchain, and we can focus on the product. So our team is not that big, and we have mostly engineers, of course, but our core team of BD, growth, and ecosystem, they just focus on building a balanced and healthy DeFi ecosystem that makes sense and that brings all these applications for our users to use with low fees in an easy way. And also we're gonna bring a lot of innovation in the future as well. So that's kind of the idea, and that is why we're happy to build with the Superchain. So I mentioned the product on Mode, right? And what is that product? Well, I'm pretty excited to show you the dashboard, right? This dashboard, you can access it right now. If you've played around with Mode in the past, you are already familiar with this. It has had like a lot of iterations here, and it's been a pretty interesting ride coming from season 1 of the airdrop into season 2. That's where we are at right now, season 2. So if you can see here, there's a lot of things, and this is why I'm happy with the product, right? So when you say, for example, okay, Mode is a place where you do DeFi, right? How do you find out about what I can do on Mode, or how do I play around with Mode, or how do I even get into DeFi if I'm not a DeFi native person, right? I am not like me, Fede. I'm not a DeFi native person. I've been in crypto since 2017, but I haven't been like super big into DeFi, and especially with all the craziness right now with the points, looping, etc., liquid staking, liquid risk staking, all of these complex things that maybe someone that's really into DeFi knows about and keeps up to date, but they don't. They it's hard to keep up while you're also building stuff. So if you're a developer, if you're a technical person, all of these things don't run exactly where in your area of expertise, right? So what I love about our product, and something that I think you guys need to check out just to see the amount of integrations that you can have with Mode, and also understand a little bit more about our vision, is just go play around with our dashboard, right? As a user. Because in the dashboard, you can go and check the points that you have accrued, which these points translate, like these points come from utilizing protocols in our ecosystem, right? It's an incentive for users to use them. So we have this dashboard where we show the amount of points in circulation, the amount of points that you have, um, where these points are coming from, if these are activity points or if these are liquidity points, which is different things in the DeFi ecosystem. Um, we can also, well, you can also stake Mode. So we have the staking module here as well. So it's one page, one website for everything you need to do, right? You have the assets as well with the multipliers, and holding different assets will give you different multipliers. So you can start building strategies and thinking of ways of optimizing this with the new things that we get out. We have news also. If you check in the top right section, I think I can write here a bit. Yeah, in red here, top right here, that it says cryptofede.eth. So if you see, we have a 5 bubble here, so we have notifications as well. The idea is that whenever a new claim comes out, whenever a new campaign comes out that users need to know about, then we just share it with the notifications there. Now, I think this is super cool, right? And I'm just sharing the product here so you understand our approach to what we're doing, basically. I'm not looking for you guys to just use this every day. Just I would recommend you go here and check out the dashboard and see the things that are here so you understand that we're building a product and a healthy ecosystem that goes with it, right? Right here, if you scroll down the dashboard as well, you can find the main protocols on Mode, right? Some of these are native to Mode. Some of these are blue chips that came later on, like Velodrome, for example. But all of these, if you click on them, it will take you to their website, which of course is a third party. So you got to be careful still on the risks of interacting with this. But it's been a great learning experience for me. So that's why I'm showing you this. If you don't know anything about DeFi, like anything, it is a great way of learning. And this is how I learned. Coming to the dashboard, picking any random one of these. So like Velodrome is an AMM. Kim Exchange is DEX. Layerbank is lending. Ionic is lending, right? Splice is yield. So coming here, testing one out, seeing their user experience, seeing how that is. Even you can invest like really small money, like below $10, I think, to test it out, and you're not going to lose it because most of these are just basically providing liquidity, for example. So you just spend the gas, and the gas is really low. So I would just come, test one of these out, try to learn what it is. If it's a focus of something, if it's something new, if it's something innovative, just use it for a bit, see the experience. Is it good? Is it not? Like, how many clicks do I have to do? How hard would it be to build something like this? And then maybe even check their code, because most of the times you can find it around. And also we have a community blog where we write a lot of content pieces explaining what these protocols do and how they work on a high level, kind of. So this dashboard, which at first I thought was a very basic thing and a very basic idea, actually brought me into this page quite a few times a week to claim IOP from the staking rewards, to learn about DeFi, and to get more involved into these DeFi protocols. And why am I talking so much about DeFi and so much about this like learning experience of DeFi? Because again, I was not DeFi native. I had to get into DeFi a lot more for mode. And I love that because I think it's one of the biggest use cases that we have in Web3 right now. But the concept of the DeFi dev, right? I don't know about you guys, but whenever someone asks me if I'm a dev, I'm like, well, yes, no. What do you mean by dev? If you ask me to code something in like C++, I'm probably not able to do that. But I've learned how to code in C. So like, does that make me a dev? I haven't coded, like I don't remember any syntax of it, right? So even the term dev in general, I think gets confused a lot in Web3. So I wanted to give a name to this dev, this DeFi dev. So what is a DeFi dev to us? And this is what we're looking for in this hackathon, and this is what we're looking to foster in this hackathon as well, because you don't need to be a DeFi dev to participate here, and I would push all of you to just give it a try. So who's this chat DeFi dev, right? So in my opinion, a DeFi dev needs to know Solidity, so you need to be able to write smart contracts, but you also need to know front end and understand like user experience and the interface and how that front end interacts with the backend, which could be a smart contract, how those how to build those smart contracts in order to give a good user experience. Because if you just go ahead and do it like you would normally do it, number one, you'll spend a lot of gas. So you need to learn about gas optimization. Building DeFi protocols not only requires coding, but you need to know not only math, but you need to know finances as well. So understanding P&L, which is profit and loss, understanding liquidity pools and how we use them in Web3, understanding swaps and how a swap should be performed on chain and how much gas that would spend, bridging, which is not easy at all, which would be communicating several chains, right? Um, UniV1, UniV2, UniV3. All of these things, all of these concepts, all of these weird, interactions. I'm sorry, interactions. I'm sorry, I'm going through the chat now. Yeah, just checking if there are any questions. There are not. Great. So slippage, dexes, yield, all of these standards like ERC 721, which is the NFTs, ERC 20, which are tokens, ERC 1155, which are semi-fungible tokens, ERC 4626, which is tokenized vaults. All of these concepts are in a DeFi dev, right? So you not only need to be good at programming or at coding, at Web3 development, you also need to understand and work with all of these concepts that get complicated. It's not easy at all. So what we're looking with this hackathon and most of the activations that we're doing, and I'll explain to you a few more opportunities in the mode ecosystem as well that you can leverage and participate, and happy to help you guys with that. Is we want developers that want to take on the challenge and try and build around DeFi, right? Try to pick one of these niches, try to find the problems with it, the things that are not working, the things that can be improved, and give a chance at innovation, even if it's super small, it can bring a lot to the table, right? And I know this gives anxiety. It's complicated, and I understand that this sounds like a lot, right? You don't need to learn all of these just to participate as a DeFi dev, right? Um, you just need to give it a try. So if you like finances, if you like DeFi in general, and you want to give it a try, I would strongly advise you start looking into DeFi protocols, how they work, their smart contracts, how they're built, who forks who, and start studying like the basic versions of Uniswap, Compound, all of these big protocols that, and I would check like, don't go to Uni V3 directly. Go to the early stages of DeFi. That's better because you'll see the progression, and there are simpler systems and simpler ways of doing stuff that of course get optimized, and there are big teams now working on it. So here, sorry, DeFi's biggest problems, right? Of course, a lot of these also come from normal Web3 experiences, right? But a lot of devs, when getting into a hackathon, ask us like, "Hey, is there anything you want us to build? Any ideas? Any ideas list or any wish list?" And I usually tell them that no, because we're looking for innovation. So I could tell you something that I think it will be cool to build, but that doesn't mean that it will earn a bounty, and that doesn't really mean that we could be building that somewhere else, right? I don't, if I wanted to build something, I would look for you, for any dev that could build it and pay them to build it, right? In case we needed that. With this hackathon and the things that we're doing, we're looking for motivated people that want to, we want to find that those people, right? So we want to know, I want to know if you're building on Mode, if you're bringing a project to Mode and you want to deploy and you need some help, if you want to participate in our ambassador program or like get a grant, etc. All of these things, or like in our demo days, etc. All of these things and campaigns and activations are to find developers that want to take on the challenge to be a DeFi dev, right? So a few of these problems are things that you can focus on. So for example, number one is fragmentation. You must have heard about liquidity fragmentation. Not only that, we take the word fragmentation and use it a lot around Web3 for different things. So how easy it is to pull liquidity together to accomplish a task. So if I have money in the 10 different chains, how do I just put it all together in one place? There are some bridging solutions that are helping with this and some apps that are helping with this, but this is a big problem. And if we can help users just with fragmentation, that's great. And if we can help protocols and ecosystem with fragmentation as well, that is also a big thing. Because if you have the same liquidity pool in different chains, then your liquidation, your fragmentation is oh, your liquidity is fragmented. There we go. Sorry. Number two, it's security, right? DeFi is still very early. There are contracts that manage millions and millions of dollars. So how reliable are these systems? How can users really trust them? How can we improve the security in this protocol? So like bots mixed with AI to analyze protocols under risk, to analyze tokens, to analyze contracts. Those are great ideas. Things to like usually in the process of like managing keys and deploying things, etc. All of these are like risk points that a lot of DeFi apps go through because they have usually a lot of contracts and they're really complex. So all around security, it's important. Monitoring, um, I don't know. There's a million things. Like if malicious transaction is going through, can we stop that? Is there any way to raise alerts, etc. Um, what else? Yeah. So capital efficiency. This is a big one. So how much money can you make per $1, right? So am I being capital efficient, right? And that depends a lot on your goals and objectives as well. It doesn't mean making as much money as you can with $1, but also it needs to take into account the risk, right? So if you want to learn more about finances and maybe ways to improve that, searching capital efficiency as a term and learning about that is a great place to start as well. So how can you improve capital efficiency for the users, right? If you notice they need to do 10 transactions to complete a DeFi task, then shortening that, making it in one click as an intent or something similar, and reducing the gas fee spent there, that is a great way to do it. Great. Last thing, onboarding and UX. The OX and onboarding in DeFi is really hard. That's why we're bringing AI a lot to this, and we want to push for it and improve it. So any improvements on onboarding and UX is great. So I'm gonna wrap up here, 2 more minutes, and I'm done. We have 3 bounties right now. So best DeFi innovation, best AI and DeFi integration, and then best UX UI in DeFi. So as you can see, we're very DeFi focused. So if you have an innovation in DeFi, that means something new. It doesn't have to be gigantic. It doesn't have to work the whole thing, but we want to see innovation in DeFi, even if you're mixing things that already exist. Then best AI and DeFi integration, we want it to make sense. So an LLM that helps you invest and then performs some on-chain actions. AI to help with the security, AI to help with the onboarding, to later on do some transactions as well. A real integration of AI and DeFi would be super, super appreciated. And I want you to realize that these bounties are these hackathons initiative. Like we're putting this out for this hackathon. But if you do have something cool, if you want more support and you have something cool going on, we're gonna give you a lot more support in the coming weeks. Lastly, lots of opportunities around in mode. Not only bounties here, but also we have an accelerator. If you have a project already and you want more support on go-to-market strategies and prices, etc., we have an accelerator opening up in 2 weeks. Again, we have the Mode Ambassador program for technical people that you can just learn. We'll support you, and we want you to share your learnings with other people. We have developer bootcamps going from Web 2 to Web 3. We just finished one, and a lot of them are participating in this hackathon, I hope. We have a grants program to incentivize users as well for your project. That's coming soon, in the next 2 months or so. And then hackathons, workshops, demo days, and more. Finally, if you want to reach out to us or to me or whoever in the team, you can use the Discord channel from the Superhack on Mode. You can always reach out to us in Twitter, to me as well, and on our Discord in Mode. Please feel free to ask any questions. We can support you in many, many ways with Ethereum for your development or whatever. So just let me know. I hope this wasn't too much, and I hope to see more DeFi chats out there. Thank you very much for the time.
Thanks, Fed. Appreciate it. It was a great presentation. So yeah, I'll be opening up the floor for Q&A. Is there anyone who has any questions to Fed at the moment? Feel free to write it on the chat box, or feel free to unmute yourself, and maybe you can have a one-on-one with Fed right now.
I see people asking about the geo restriction on the bridge, and if these countries are also restricted to participate in the hackathon. No, the hackathon has nothing to do with that geo restriction. You got an answer on an option in the chats that you can do to use a bridge, but also you can use third-party bridges. If you go to our website and ecosystem, there's also the Super Bridge, which is an official one. You can use third-party bridges. I am so sorry for the geolocation restriction. I have nothing to do with that, and it's not from directly from us. I am so sorry for that. We'll get it fixed at some point, but you can use third-party bridges to access Mode. Please, yeah, do that. And if not, if you're having issues still, please contact me and I'll help you. But yeah, feel free to participate here. This has nothing to do with that.
Lovely. Anyone with any questions? Or else we can wrap up. Also, just a quick note that this workshop is also live streamed on YouTube, and it will be on YouTube. So in case you want to go back to this workshop, you can feel free to go to our YouTube and just check out the playlist for Superhack, and you'll be finding this workshop and all the other workshops that we are recording.
I don't know if anyone would like to listen to this again after this torture. I don't know though. Don't want to listen to it again, dude.
No, it's good. No, it was definitely not a torture. Sweet. We have
Thank you,
Aryan
Aryan.
mentioning that he.
Yeah. Well, I think we're done. If anyone has any questions, you know where to reach out to us, and I hope we see more DeFi chats out there. Yeah.
Sweet. Yep. Big thanks to everyone for joining the workshop. And thank you, Federico, for joining us. Feel free to connect with Federico and the partner channel on Discord. If you have any question, and we shall definitely get back to you. Cheers, everyone, and have a great rest of the week. See you all. Bye bye.
Bye-bye.